Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Taurus. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. There's a Four of Swords. Interesting. Okay, well, something is definitely going to be resolved or worked out. Some difficulty is coming to an end. There's some more air energy. Let's lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread here. And as I do this, as always, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, Path of the Serpent here, finishing up. A lot of air energy, Taurus. A lot of air energy today. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Smith-Waite deck. And we're going to just randomly select a card here and set it down over here, put the frog on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end. Hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we're looking for. Okay, so we've got major, major. We've got air, 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 air. We've got a little bit of earth. We've got a little bit of water. We've got a little bit of fire. Oh, it's mostly air. Okay. The interesting, we have the fire here in the Sun card, in the Lust or Strength card, and in the Seven of Wands. So the fire energy is pretty interesting. There's a very solid foundation underneath you, which is important. There is such kind of confusing air energy, I'll be honest with you. But let's start with the Four. I think that you're kind of at odds with someone right now. With the way there's a lot of court cards in the suit of swords. So that might be an air sign person in your life. Maybe. Might be an air sign. But I feel like there is that you're just not getting along with someone. And I don't know if this is maybe a significant other. I feel like it's a relationship that has a lot of, it's usually very energetic, very exciting energy between the two of you, right? It could be like a lover. It could be just like a best friend or maybe a family member that the two of you get together and it's always been just really intense, really exciting, a lot of fun, a lot of activities. Maybe you go and do all sorts of things together, sports or adventures, whatever. But I feel like right now there is just something going on that's got a lot of confusing information wrapped up in it. Not only do we have this Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is a very good card. This is saying that you want things to just stop. You want there to just be peace and quiet and calm. You don't want this arguing. You don't want this conflict, this disagreement. I think it's mostly misunderstandings or like a lot of conflicting information coming in. You're just kind of done with it, right? So let's talk about this conflicting energy first of all. Because we have a Knight of Swords at the top. So this is one bit of energy, one bit of information that came in very quickly. It was suddenly they're fighting with you, right? And I almost think that you don't even really know why that was. So it kind of put you in this position of having to defend yourself. It's like they just came at you out of nowhere with this problem. And maybe they're accusing you of stuff. Maybe they're just, it could be something at work. Honestly, we've got this earth energy here. But I feel like it's always a heated environment. I'm kind of feeling some more on this Lust or Strength card. This is the environment. I said at first maybe it was like a friend or a lover, because I feel like a lot of excitement when you're there. But I think maybe you work in a very fast-paced job or something. Okay? because we have this foundation of earth, but in the environment, it's kind of this, it's a lot of like excitement, passion, a lot of heat, a lot of like, crazy energy. It could be that you work in a very kind of busy and hectic, kind of crazy industry, okay? It could be the work environment is usually very lust or strength, very passionate, very heated, very fast-paced. Suddenly somebody comes in one day and has this problem, and it's aimed at you. And you don't know why, you don't know if you did something wrong or if they're just unleashing all of their pent-up stuff on you. But we're trying to put an end to it. And what you're doing mostly with this Princess of Swords is you're trying to figure out what the heck they're talking about. You're trying to defend yourself. You're trying to calm things down, really. You're trying to get them to stop like coming at you with this energy. Okay, so I don't know if it's accusations or if it is, they have some kind of issue in the workplace or maybe at home, and they're just kind of bringing. But if you looking at these two cards, the way that they are kind of set up on the table, the Knight of Swords is coming in with two swords drawn, like right at you, and you're just doing everything that you can to defend yourself. You're kind of put back on your back foot. You've got your one sword in front of you in a defensive posture. So this, just the way the cards are lined up, is showing that you're kind of being attacked by this person. And I don't feel like you deserve that in any way. And yeah, I feel like it's a verbal thing, like it's just some kind of energy or conflict, some kind of friction, and they're aiming it right at you. You're trying to put a stop to all of this, okay? And with the Four of Swords, I think you do a pretty good job of diffusing the situation, of calming everything down. And we have the Sun in the background. The Sun is really good here because the Sun represents your ability to get through to people, right? Represents your kind of talent of kind of warming up any situation, of making things a little bit more calm and peaceful just by your presence. You have a very good attitude about you. And I think that it's through your personality, your confidence, your good attitude, I guess. You have a very positive attitude. That you don't just kind of retaliate against this person, or, you don't try to match them and enter this sword fight, that you'll probably win anyway. But you try to calm everybody down, and you try to, like, make sure everybody gets heard, make sure everybody has a voice, okay? And I think this is a good energy to have. I think this is really helping you in this situation. It's a real kind of, it's a good attitude. It's a positive attitude. Through this situation, we have, this is really kind of a straightforward thing. In the future, we've got this Three of Cups. So I think it's going to be resolved. It's going to turn out to be something probably kind of silly. And it's going to be kind of back to normal. There's going to be some forgiveness, some apology, and it's going to be, kind of a handshake, let's have a drink kind of vibe. So, this is really a good situation. It seems we have a conflict, and we have the resolution of that conflict, and things are good. It's a happy ending, right? Happy ending. And the Prince of Discs underneath everything is showing really that it's kind of, you all have this common kind of foundation. That's why I think it's kind of a work thing. Because you all want the same things. You're all working toward the same goals here. So it's really of everybody's benefit to kind of stop the nonsense and let's get back to work. Let's all have a good time and let's do this thing, whatever it might be. Okay. But now we move over to the path of the serpent. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. Because of the Seven of Wands, you're in this position where you almost start to feel as if everyone's kind of against you now. It's almost like you walk away from the situation and you're just not quite satisfied with how it played out. It kind of feels like you were put in this position and you really start to get mad about it. You know, like, yes, you have this really good attitude. You try to kind of calm everything down. Now, maybe this person isn't coming right at you. Maybe the Princess of Swords is representing someone else in the situation. These two have the conflict. You're the one responsible for calming it down, mediating it, getting it resolved, getting everybody to be friends again, right? But as time goes on, I feel like you begin to feel as if it was an attack on you. Like somebody, like this whole situation violated your space here. You know, if this is maybe in your home, if this is in your office, your department, your company, it's almost like there's now this, it was a challenge to you, even if it was indirect, right? Even if it was these two other people fighting, you kind of feel like you were disrespected too. And you kind of feel like it puts you in a weakened position of authority. Does that make sense? That it kind of undermined your authority a little bit. And it starts to feel a little disrespectful. So then we kind of jump right past this luster strength card, but this is in your environment. Yes, I think you work or live, maybe this is something at home, and it's very fast paced, very kind of volatile environment. Okay. This card in this position also represents some of your energy, represents what you have in abundance right now. And I think that is a need for self-control. I think that because of this, whatever the Seven of Wands really is, that's kind of starting to brew inside of you. It's like this feeling of being slighted or disrespected or violated, that you were undermined or disrespected. You know, we try to just let things go. You're usually the voice of reason. You handle this. I mean, if we just stick with the path of the serpent or path of the dove, everything's perfect. Sunshine. Oh, we've got a problem. We fix it. Everything's good. We're all friends again, right? Perfect. Let's just do a reading like this. This is enough. Okay. There's more going on, though. You know? There's more going on, and the more I feel this energy, the more I realize that this Princess of Swords is not you. These are two other people that are having this conflict in your space, in your environment. You're the one that has to kind of, squash it, resolve it, mediate it, get everybody back to being friends again so you can focus on getting your work done. Whether it's professional or personal, it doesn't matter. And now it starts to feel like maybe the Seven of Wands is like, this shit keeps happening. Maybe this isn't the first time. Maybe it just felt kind of very disrespectful. And now we're starting to feel a little volatile ourselves. Maybe we're getting frustrated that we live or work in such a volatile environment. And it's becoming more difficult for us to control ourselves because we kind of just want to lash out at these people, maybe fire everybody, maybe kick everybody out of our house. So self-control is very much needed right now, and we need to, I think, discern or discover or realize or be aware of why our environment is so fast-paced and volatile to begin with. Right? We live or work in this very volatile environment. We can't be surprised when these kinds of incidents happen. You handled it in a beautiful way. But why does it happen? Why did it happen? Why does it keep happening if this is not the first time? And that's something that we have to ask ourselves. But the Ace of Swords, the clarity, the real solution, the real truth here, is in the position of what you don't want. And this is what is kind of This is what's giving me the intensity of this situation. The path of the dove was just kind of boring. It's like, yeah, okay, there's conflict. You resolve it, everyone's friends again. Perfect. But there's more going on. There's more to the story here internally. Okay. So why do you not want to know the truth? Why this? And I mean, obviously, I know why. We all know why. Because this is going to present us with some facts about ourselves that we just probably don't want to know. We don't want to think about it. We're too busy. So we don't want to know the truth. We don't want to know why our environment is like this. Why we live in such a fast-paced, I mean, now even my words are getting too fast-paced. I got to slow down. Someone left me a comment and said, you got to slow down. So I'm trying to slow down. My wife says that to me all the time, slow down. Not while driving. I'm a very slow driver, believe it or not. Anyway, there's a reason why we don't want to know the truth of our situation. Okay? This is what we need to discover this. Why we live in such a volatile place or work in such a volatile place. Why is it like this? Why do these things keep happening? What is it about me or my choices that I end up in this kind of volatile, fast-paced environment? What if you work in a kitchen? Kitchens are volatile. Kitchens are fast-paced, right? There's a lot of yelling and screaming and it seems like chaos in a kitchen, right? At least from what I see on TV. Maybe we like it. Maybe that's where we feel most productive. Maybe we feel like that's where our own anxiety and energy and fire force can come out, right? So maybe we need a volatile environment. Whatever it is, we need to be aware of that. And this is kind of where we now get into like a more spiritual or psychological part of the reading where, I'm not saying you've got to get out of the volatile environment. I'm not saying that a fast-paced home or workplace is bad. I don't think anything is bad. But we've got to know why we're there. What is it doing for us? Is it fulfilling some sort of need in us? Is it the expression of some kind of like unrealized archetype or some shadow aspect of ourselves? Or is it some issue that we haven't dealt with yet that's now manifesting as, us putting ourselves in this kind of volatile environment, work or at home, maybe both, right? And the next thing that I see, more air energy. Prince of Swords this time. Well, we've got a Prince of Discs here. This is all of your knowledge. This is the resolution of this problem leading to a lot of productive work, right? Either professionally or at home, whatever. This is business. This is you getting things done, working on the work stuff, projects, whatever. Because this air energy is resolved, you're getting back to work. Now, on the path of the serpent, if we can resolve this air energy, if we can stop rejecting this reason why, then we can resolve the air and we can start to work not on the business stuff that we're working with down here, but working on the air, working on our psyche, working on these issues, working on ourselves, right? In the same way, the resolution of this leads to more work physically. The resolution of this leads to more work, psychologically. So I think there's a bigger issue here. There's more depth to this than just this conflict, right? Now, before we do the mystery card, I want to do an I Ching card. My wife found these I Ching cards for me at a used bookstore. There's 64 hexagrams that represent the wisdom of the ancient Chinese sages and their connection to spirit. So I just want to cast one hexagram to see how it might apply to this situation. Now I know this is not the traditional way to cast a hexagram, but I'm going to do it anyway. Typically I would use the yarrow stalk method for any Jing enthusiasts out there. But I feel like this is just more convenient in this context. Okay. Well, that's the one. Okay, this one says influence, hexagram 31, influence. Okay. And it says here, creating success, constancy bears fruit. Taking it says a woman, but taking a lover, right? Taking a counterpart, good fortune. Okay. So how does that apply to our situation? Well, let's read the back of the card. It says, influence is what moves us, whether that's emotions, inspiration, physical responses, or visiting spirits. Steady the power of influence by creating a place in your life to contain it. Good fortune comes from a more feminine way of relating, being open, and allowing space for new influences. The questions are, what influence is active, and what does it draw you toward? What is its place in your life? So, talking about influence, that's the reason why we are drawn to these high-paced and hectic environments, right? There's also this this idea of the things that move us, right? The things that move us. Because the bottom hexagram is the hexagram of mountain, very steady, right? Not easily moved. The hexagram on top is a lake. It's joy. It's what moves us. It's what kind of draws us out, you know. And interestingly, the hexagram card that I have on the desk just randomly is lake. And here we see a boat on a lake. So it kind of is this idea of what are we drawn to? What are we attracted to? Right? What things in our life tend to pull us in a particular direction? Right? And we've got that hexagram on the bottom, which is that earth, that mountain. That, to me, that's this, right? That's just being productive, doing our work, being firm and committed, not being easily moved by things. But there are some things that can move us. Some situation like this, some of this lust or strength energy, this chaos, this high-paced environment, this volatile environment at work or at home, that sort of thing moves us, takes us off center, right? So what influence is active and what does it draw you toward? You know, I think that's a big question. And I think we've seen a lot of that already here, right? Let's see. Good fortune comes from a more feminine way of relating, being open, and allowing space for new influences. So I think the being open part really is a lot to do with not rejecting this Ace of Swords. We have to be open. We have to allow this in. We're rejecting it. We're closing ourselves off to this air energy that comes next, right? Maybe we try to kind of contain our own volatile energy, and that's where it stops. We try to discipline things, and that's where the cutoff is. We're not opening ourselves up to this air energy that comes next. And I think that's a big part of the work for you. Opening yourself up to that truth of why we're in these situations, right? What is it about them that does attract us and draw us toward them? How do these energies influence us? And what does that mean for the next phase of your work? How can you move on from that? What does that tell you? What questions arise after we take into account this Ace of Swords? And that's where we get this kind of, we get this Prince of Swords there. So very interesting. I think that card gives us a lot to, well, we'll just go ahead and leave it on the table. That card gives us a lot to think about. And not only in this context with this particular situation, but generally. You know, what kind of things? Is it really this kind of the volatile energy, the kind of chaos? Is that the energy that takes us off of center? Are we attracted to that for some reason, in some way, and what does that tell us? You know. Now let's do the mystery card. Maybe this will, I don't know, maybe this will reveal a little bit more to the story as well. I don't have much of a prediction other than more air energy, because it seems like that's really what we keep getting here. No, we have a Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. So this is a card that says, look, try something different. Try something different. Maybe it feels like the only way we can really thrive and be productive is if we're in this kind of high pressure, high intensity, fast-paced, volatile environment, which then kind of makes us feel volatile and fast-paced too. But maybe that's the only way we feel, or in our past anyway. By these two, that's the only way we can feel really productive, is in this kind of high pressure environment. But the Page of Pentacles is saying, look, you can be productive in other ways. You just got to get out there and try different things. You got to be, again, like Influence says, to be open and receptive to the possibility that, you know, you can thrive in other environments. It may not be as fun or as exciting to begin with, you know, but the only way that you're going to learn that about yourself is by trying. Right? And again, this isn't saying that, look, a volatile, fast-paced, chaotic environment like a kitchen or something is bad, or that you should get out of there. But if it's causing this kind of, maybe this conflict in you, or, you know, the fact that this is here and this is an issue shows that there's at least something that you need to think about. Some awareness that you need to, you know, to come to about yourself, about your own psychology. And it doesn't mean that you have to get out of that environment and that you're not going to be productive. But if this kind of situation throws you off center, you know, if, yes, you thrive in this environment, but a situation arises like this and then you get thrown completely out of whack, maybe we need to look at different ways of approaching situations like this. At least learn why we react the way we do, why we feel the way we do, and be open to those answers to see how we might be able to make some changes so that we can stay in this very peaceful, because right here, these cards right here, this is very peaceful. It's productive, it's happy, everyone's getting along, everybody's really good friends, it's cheerful, it's warm, it's supportive, there's freedom, you can be creative. This is a really good situation. But it's like we're attracted to all this chaos, and then we get into this chaos stuff and we just kind of, that gets all mixed up. Right? So I think that's why we need to investigate this a little bit more. Okay. Anyway, Taurus, we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, just click up there. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Taurus, but for all of the zodiac signs. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.